If you've been suffering with cluster headaches, I really encourage you to listen to this video because a lot of times people with cluster headaches, they have ended up at a bunch of doctors, specialists, and they just get told, well, we're really not sure what's going on, so just kind of deal with it the best that you can, or here's some medication that you can take whenever they come up for you. So the different perspective I want to offer is that cluster headaches, obviously you're getting intense pain along one side of the head or face, or we're getting localized pressure or pain behind a localized area of the face, and a lot of times that's shown up around the eye. So the question that needs to be asked, in my opinion, more is, okay, so what causes pain, or what is the area that is affected when we're talking about that pain here? So there's nerve distributions that go right along the side of the head, and so that comes up. And again, the question that doesn't get asked a lot is like, why would that nerve be irritated? Same thing with these pockets along the face. So fluid flow is a huge thing when we're talking about the skull and the neck. There's craniosacral fluid that goes through and covers your brain, your spinal cord, and it's running to and from the skull consistently. We have all these blood vessels and veins and arteries that are going to and from the skull, and a lot of fluid is moving on a consistent basis. So what I see is that if there's turbulent flow, or if that flow isn't happening correctly for any of those things, it's not too different than if you kink the water in your hose, there's going to be a back pressure buildup. So a lot of times these things aren't being considered or looked at. And of course, there's a lot of different things that can factor into cluster headaches. So I'm not saying these are the only things, but I am saying these are things that are not being looked at currently. One root cause of that we see in our office is that a lot of times the head is not sitting on top of the neck correctly. There can be turning, there can be twisting, there can be leaning going on. And of course, from that position, the nerves aren't going to be happy if they're getting sat on and compressed. And the fluid flow, again, it's not too different than water coming through a hose. If we're putting kinks and turns in it, fluid doesn't flow as efficiently or normally as it could. So if you haven't heard that perspective before, or if nobody has looked at your structure yet, I really encourage you to find someone who can, and that we would be more than happy to do that for you. If you go ahead and go to our website, click the Book Now button, we can schedule a time to sit down and see if that is a layer of stress that your body's dealing with to help you move past those cluster headaches.